I ain't get to roll no weed, I ain't get to roll no swishes. I was locked up on Christmas, I ain't get to see my brothers, I ain't get to hug my mama, couldn't even give her no kisses. Can't even post on my Instagram, cause these pussy fellas be snitching. Everybody acting suspicious, might probably say that I'm tripping. When I'm all alone in my jail cell, I tend to get in my feelings. And all I smoke is that loud, don't pass me no midget. And I'ma smoke all of my pain away, cause that's the only thing that gon' heal it. I don't understand these women who go around pretending as if they really fuck with me. So I love them all from a distance, cause the same bitch say she down the ride, be the main one who trickin'. Got Molly mixed with promethazine because every time I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47, Mac 11, Glock 9s, and all these pussy fellas hating, trying to knock me off my grind. But I can't let them do it. I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. I got murder on my mind. I got murder on my mind. His face is on a t-shirt, and his family traumatized. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor, and he got teardrops in his eyes. He grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him it's too late, my friend, it's time to say goodbye. And he died inside my arms, blood all on my shirt. Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
An eternal pain.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive? I hope that everybody is having a fantastic Monday. First and foremost, I want to say that when I streamed Saturday, I thought that I was over the hump for not feeling the best, and I really tried to push through for yesterday's live. I kept moving it back. I did not get hacked. I see people that are emailing me. They're like, what's going on? Okay. I was pushing it back. I was trying to give myself more time. I hate missing streams. I hate not feeling good. But I needed to do that. I felt like the amount of sleep and the rest that I got is the reason why, I feel back to 100% today. I always feel like whenever I get the flu, not that anybody needs to know this, but it's like, I feel like whenever I get the flu, it's like, I feel like crap. I feel a little bit better. And then I go back downhill for a day or two. And then I'm in the clear. That's typically how my body functions. So, apologies for that. Tonight, I am stoked to have Devil's Advocate backstage. The other thing, as a quick reminder, there are some people confused. I go live every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central, Monday through Thursday. Fridays are 9 p.m. Saturdays random, Sundays 7 p.m. Kind of a varying schedule. But the next day, those are not repeat lives. I post a quick cut. That's why they're 25 to 35 minutes, not 2 hours. I'll keep saying that. I post the quick cuts for the people that maybe they can't tune into the entire 2-hour stream. Okay? So to people that are coming at me in the comments saying, we've seen this already. Why are you posting it? Well, one's a live, one's a video. Okay? Google how YouTube works if you're confused. Okay? Not that I don't mind explaining that. It's just some of the comments I got are like pissed. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this since I started. I post a quick cut the next day just to clear that up. And if this is your first time tuning into The Hive, I'm your host, Birdie. This is a contrarian thinking live stream. So what does that mean? Well, if you're easily rattled or if you're offended on behalf of others, you're not going to like me. You're probably not going to like the chat. Some of my guests might not be your favorite, but we like to think past the headlines. We like to question the narrative. Typically, we are called the tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists in our friend groups. So if that's you, you have found your people. You are amongst friends and welcome. We are happy to have you here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say what's up to everybody. And then I'm going to bring Devil's Advocates on up. What's up, UFO Dog? What's up, Holly? Turkey Creek Gal. Is that a new username? Hazel's mom forever. Mama Coco. Reese, Oceans 1111, UFO Dog says Tiggle Biddies, DA, Wisdom.com, Heart of Gold, Donna Speaks Truth, Ariana, Crime Spy, Original Miss Martin, Chelsea Jackson, Lisa Marie, Ricky, Chantilly Lace, 5062. Wait, what? Chantilly Lace, change that username back right now. Come on, girl. Grammy Tammy, the girl from Texas April, Veronica Gonzalez, Harper, Crime Spy 1111, shout out Mitty Witty, Teresa, Kathy, Angel Heart, Grace Kirk, Reggie Lou, Marcy, L Price, what up? Lori, Veronica, Sassafras, Cryptic. Girl Through Noel says the bird flu. That's funny. I see what you did there. It's my kind of humor. Kathy. Sleuther Dare says, go Pack Go. It was not a good-looking win, but a win is a win. Drew Bledsoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I'm not going to be your favorite. Let me on a talk. Green is guilty. HBO Dog, check your DMs, girl. I do call-in shows once a week. Drew, more than happy to have you on there. I got an extremely busy week, however, this week. I have a great next 2 weeks lined up for this stream. And just as a reminder, any super chat that's over $4.99, super chats or tips, my mods will drop the tip link so that YouTube doesn't rob 60+% of it. But $4.99 pops up right here. I will address it right away. I'm grateful for anything that you all feel kind enough to send. All my streams are free. And like I said, I go live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Central. But the schedule that I have coming up, real quick, just to do a couple housekeeping items. Tomorrow, I got a surprise guest. And I have Sammy T Mafia. The surprise guest has 1 million followers on Instagram. So those two are going to hit it off. I already know. Wednesday, I got Dago. Thursday, I got Sue Tarot Revelation. Sue Revelation Tarot. Might be. And then I am absolutely stoked to announce this as our friends, the Custody Queens. I was on the phone with them for about an hour and a half earlier today. We, on the 26th, which is next week on Wednesday, we are going to be privileged enough to have the lawyer here in the Hive. So that's awesome. He is looking into the Idaho 4. He actually tuned into the Custody Queens episode with me and Kristen and Sam. So the lawyer will be on next Wednesday. And I don't know if anybody knows this. He's like one of 6 or one of 7 people that is like dual licensed. Brilliant gentleman for talking about the court system. So that's going to be epic. Like, that's going to be, I already know, is going to be one of the best streams that I've ever done. And we're going to have the Custody Queens here with them. So we're going to have 3 attorneys here in the Hive next Wednesday. Do not miss that. And anyways, without further ado, welcome to Mr. Tig Old Biddies, the Twin Peaks Rizzler Devil's Advocates. What's going on, brother man?
Well, I'm discombobulated. I got the wrong mic. I don't have the right headphones. I lose everything on my trip to Moscow, Idaho. So yeah, I'm discombobulated. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. So thanks for having me on again.
Well, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Sounds like that was quite the trip.
It was. It was 100% crazy.
I just want to say your mic sounds fine. So don't let it get to your head. It sounds good. We got it dialed in. It might be a little bit different. I'm just pissed because I spent hundreds on this mic and I just broke it on the trip. Like I have to anyways. Well, and shout out to real quick, D-Dog Wifey 17 for the super chat saying that they are new to this channel. They love the Hive. Well, welcome. If anybody's new to either the Hive or Devil's Advocates channel, type of 1. We will welcome you with open arms. We're happy to have you. Yeah, DA, that sucks about your mic, man. Like, this stuff's not cheap, and it's complicated, and it's finicky, and it's touchy, and I know firsthand, this damn mic was my Achilles heel for many, many months.
Yeah, but, I'll have to, if I can't get it fixed, I'm going to have to invest in some of the microphones that everybody else is using, because I see a lot of people, streamers, using the same exact mics, and I didn't get one of those. So maybe next time I'll be a copycat and get the mic everybody else is doing, because maybe it's more durable. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a Rode pod mic with Wave XLR, like the little adjustable thing. A lot of people use the Shure, SHURE.
Yep.
Those are expensive. They're
I see really that all expensive. The time. I was going to look into one of those because everybody seems to use them. I don't know why, but everybody seems to use them. So there must be a reason, right?
Right.
Anyways,
so. I'm happy to have you, man. To be honest, I kind of, with being sick and just a lot going on, outside of this stream, you and I have not connected at all. And I forgot that you were out in Moscow, and I know you wanted to talk about that tonight. In addition to talking about that theme, the theme for this evening is about to be Ethan and Zana. And we were talking backstage. It's insane that nobody knows where the hell they were. None of the, roommates seem to have known they were home. And Jesus, Angel Heart 7296. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Just dropping coins on you all night long. Nice.
Top dog, double top dog. You rock. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I also saw Moto Man came in and said, did the lawyer not follow this case and was kind of on the guilty side of things, not saying anything bad, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, we're going to find out. I can tell you this. Dude is doing his homework. Okay? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be exciting. And thank you, Angel Heart 7296, also for the $5 super sticker. So, but DA, like I said, we're going to talk about Ethan and Zana, their whereabouts, where you think they might have been, where I think they might have been, where the Hive might have, might have their theories on where they were. Why is it that nobody, from the beginning seems to be able to locate these two? It makes no sense. It's a crucial aspect of the timeline. For God's sakes, it's 2 of the 4 victims. It's 50% of the victims. Where were they? Who did they talk to? Did anybody see them? Well, they left around this time, and other than that, I don't know. Well, that's it? Like, that's it? That's really the investigation that went on for years? It's slightly confusing, but I want to, before we get into any of that, I want to give you a chance to talk about your trip.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, and I tried to get Birdie out on the trip. In fact, it was Birdie's idea. Originally, Birdie, you came to me and said, let's go to Pullman, Moscow, and let's go to that area. And then as it turned out, that didn't work out so much for you. And it did work out for Joe from State of the Deep, who does the show called Deep Devils with me, where we get into some of the deeper kind of the stories behind the stories. Anyways, he came out from Denver, Colorado area, Vail, Colorado. And we did boots on the ground for 3 days in Moscow, Idaho, Pullman, Washington, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, driving the sites. And I had a couple people, that told me, hey, when you're in town, I got some inside information from you. I want to see you if you're willing to do it. And then when I got there, they ghosted me and they never showed up. Literally, here's the most frustrating thing. I literally was leaving town and I was on the road and someone says, hey, I see that you're in town. I've got some information for you. Let's meet up. And I'm like, I just literally left town. Like, I've been telling people for 2 weeks I'm going to be in town, asking people to meet me. Everybody ghosted me. So that's how it goes. But it turned out to be a really, really good trip. There was humorous moments. Joe and I accidentally pulled into Moscow Police Department's parking lot in the middle of the night to change a battery on my camera and didn't realize I was actually pulling into the police department right on their camera. That was funny as shit. We got some live footage of that. Because like Joe says, only you, DA, only you can do the shit that you do. Like, you just literally, you don't even plan this shit. Just weird shit happens in your life. So it was crazy. I got some footage to share. What do you mean you just
pulled in?
Yeah, like literally, we were driving around Moscow. Look, we were driving around Moscow, and I got a notice on my dash cam, which by the way, that's a whole fucking story. But I got a dash cam on my dash, and it says battery's dead, right? And I'm like, crap! I got to pull over. I got extra batteries in the car. I'm going to pull over and change the camera. So I pull over, and as I'm sitting there getting the camera going, I hear Joe go, "Oh my God, DA, you literally pulled right in front of the Moscow Police Department." And I look over, and sure enough, we're parked in front of Moscow PD at night, right? And they've got a big open parking lot, and I'm like, I'm going to pull in all the way because I need to get off the road. I'm parked on the road, so I pulled in, and Joe's like, "What are you doing? Like, you're literally pulling into my." We're like, he goes, "Well, they're nowhere here now because we're all on camera." And I just took my time, and I got out of the car, and I got my battery out, and I changed batteries. So, and while I was in their parking lot,
get out of the car to do that.
I got out of the car because I couldn't find the battery, so I had to open my door. And Joe's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
yeah. Next thing you know, you got 9 cops.
Right.
Get on the ground.
It was epic, and he kept saying, like, only DA would do this. Like, none of this was planned. He just literally pulled over and has no idea where he's at right now. I'm like, well, fuck it. We'll do it live. Anyway,
I love that clip. I love that clip. Okay, we'll do it live.
It's in the clip that I want to share with you tonight. Because Joe and I do a moment of fuck it, we do it live. Are you playing it already?
No, I didn't know it was going to start, but I do have it loaded up for you.
Yeah. So it's a hysterical. So let me just preface. If you're going to play the video, let me say what happened. So it's a little long, Birdie. I apologize for that, but how long is it? It's like 8 minutes.
Okay.
It's like 8 minutes. But I will say this. There's a couple things I want to preface. One, so I was discombobulated this whole trip. I usually have a dash cam that like suction cups to the window, and I couldn't find the dash cam on time to go. So I was running around trying to find a replacement. Nothing fit my camera. I had a very specific kind of camera. So I'm looking for a bean bag because I heard if you put a bean bag on your dash, that would come stabilize the camera, and that works. Couldn't find a bean bag for the life of me. So I ended up buying at Walmart a bag of birdseed, and my birdseed was sitting on the counter. So we called it the birdseed camera all night long. So if you hear Joe talking about the fucking birdseed camera, and pardon my French, by the way, we do drop some F-bombs, and I know you're kind of probably trying to move away a bit from so many F-bombs, so I do apologize.
Why do you say that?
I heard you the other night. I was watching your live, and you're like, and somebody called you out and said, "You're better than that, Birdie. You're better than that. You don't need to say the F-bomb." And you're like, "I'm sorry, I'll stop saying the F-bomb." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I better stop saying the F-bomb."
Well, I went right back to it.
Okay,
it's hard for me to not to. Oh, Angel
go ahead.
Heart gave you a $20 donation towards the mic.
Oh, thank you.
I'll get you that, DA. By the way, just remind me.
All right. So anyway, so let me preface this with so if you hear us talking about the birdseed camera, that's because I literally had a bag of birdseed. Also, I want to point out one more thing. Joe is using my phone to photograph stuff with my phone, and I also have an expensive dash cam camera. So when he's talking about your phone sucks, he's not talking about the camera you're going to see. He's talking about the camera he's holding in his camera. I think that's most of what you need to preface. And the last thing I want to say is the title of this video. I like sometimes doing some clever stuff. The title is "It's Tighter Than You Think." You'll get the whole clue at the last 10 seconds. So pay attention when this thing ends to the "It's tighter than you think." All right, if you want to roll it, go for it.
I will roll it, and you just got Detective Maury aroused. So with that being said, I'm going to play this.
So Thursday night was a good night to go out in Manhattan. Anyway,
That's Joe talking.
Where those kids got run over on the night before the murders.
It's as loud as it goes on my end.
So where we're going right now, and I'll give you guys a little view while we drive with DA's
Trying to keep the camera from dumping off the bird seed.
Yeah.
We're in Pullman, Washington here.
Still hanging in there. That's the bird seed camera.
Oh, there you go. So that's the Pimlico. This is where the accident was, roughly around here, I believe. Is that
right.
The
so that's the.
Yeah, that's the
I think
the
it
bus
is.
Stop right there.
No, I think it is. I think that is where Kopaka actually lived. Is that right?
Yeah, this is where Kopaka actually, I think, lived, according to the. Now we got a car. In our
There is nobody out there, DA.
This is where the kids got run over.
What time is this?
It's like 10 o'clock at night. Not very late. Not very late.
Right, because they're literally within walking distance of each other. Now again, but there's no proof that Koberger and Kopaka knew each other. But if they did, and they both came from Pennsylvania, and if I'm right about that, they literally were across the street from each other.
You've entered the parking lot for your destination.
Yeah,
This is literally Koberger's apartment complex. It's right across from where Kopaka said he lived. I mean, right across.
Looking at it, because on the map,
super close.
It's like you walk across the street.
Yeah, guys, the Steptoe Apartments where we are now is literally like almost across the street from the Pimlico Apartments.
Yeah, if Kopaka was staying at Pimlico, he literally could walk like 20 feet and get in the car with Koberger and drive from here. They could literally get in the car together from here.
This looks like a very typical college off-campus housing.
Isn't any,
No, right there, man. That's the building that we all saw, right, guys? As we get closer, you'll see it.
Yeah, maybe on the shitty camera at night. We'll come by in the day and do all.
We're kind of covering over. This is Koberger's place right in front of us.
I mean, how many times were people filming in front of these buildings? I think he was in that building right there.
I shit you not. Listen, people, listen. In my theory that Koberger and Kopaka knew each other, I'm literally looking across the street. They were right by each other. I don't care what it looks like on a map. They were right next to each other. They could have been in the same parking lot and gotten in the car together.
Well, they could have gone to parties.
Yeah, they're right here. They're right.
I just want to pause it and say, DA, it is pretty insane seeing this right now. Like, I don't want to distract too much from it, but it is wild. Like, that has to be a very surreal atmosphere to have been in. Like, whoa.
It was insane because I don't think it's funny because I told Joe, I was like, no one's going to be able to appreciate because cameras, a lot of cameras are wide angle. And so they make you think things are further away than they really are. When we were there, all we kept saying is, oh my God, like everything is right on top of each other here. And literally Koberger and you could throw a rock from Koberger's place and hit where Kopaka was staying. So when I said that they lived within 2 blocks of each other, no, they live across the street from each other. You could throw a rock at each other and hit each other from where they were at. It's crazy how close they are together. And when you get to the part of the King Road residence, Linda Lane residence, some of that footage makes it look like it's big. It is a tiny place, and the lot where the house is now torn down is tiny. Everything
really.
Oh God, it's fucking tiny. I can't emphasize enough. It is a tiny place, and everything is packed on top of each other. All the buildings are touching each other. I hope you're going to get to see it. I think you're going to see just how tight it is. It's ridiculous.
Interesting. I see where the title came from now.
Yeah.
College apartment complexes off about to cross.
I have a little map overlay to kind of show where we're at. We're on Taylor Avenue now. We're going to turn right. Linda Lane will be the first left. We're going to go a little bit further to King Road and take a left on King.
I'm trying to.
Is there only white cars in Moscow? Jeez.
Yes. How many white Elantras are on this film alone?
I know.
I was neglecting you guys in the chat. I apologize.
So Linda Lane's right to my left. King Road's up ahead.
Prevent DA from running somebody over. All right, this is the big field. right? This is the Banfield.
Yeah.
This is the Banfield, guys, right here. Am I right? Yeah.
Oh, these places are super.
This is Banfield, guys, right here. That is it, right there. And that is Sigma Chi right there, I believe. Yep, that's Sigma Chi, guys, right there. So here we are. We gotta be low key now that we're in the neighborhood, but his bird feeder cam.
All right, we're turning on the cloud. There's a bunch of people partying on 1112.
Now pause right there. That where we're kind of overlaid. That's 1112, the famous 1112 King Road residence. The camera caught the Elantra leaving and speeding up at a high rate of speed. That's the place. There's kids literally partying right now. A group of college kids partying and drinking right there. Right behind that, practically touching it, is 1122 King Road, the residence that was torn down. It is fucking on top of it. All of these places are right on top of each other. All these cars, there's dozens and dozens of cars. It looks so much different. Joe kept saying it, like, oh my God, like this place looks so much bigger on TV, right? This place is small. It's tiny. All right, keep going.
And real quick, guys, please go ahead, tap that like button. You know, we got over 1,000 people in here. And let's make sure that we hit the like button. Devil's Advocates is going out and going to Moscow, giving ground or like boots on the ground footage. You know, we only got 300 people that have tapped it. This, you know, obviously DA is doing this on his own dime, and him and Joe in State of the Deep. I wish I could have been there. I wish. You know, I would have been if I could have been, dude.
I know. I know.
But yeah, this is epic. I mean, what great perspective. So shout out to you, DA. Shout out to Joe, State of the Deep. Tap that like button, show support for DA and the Hive and Joe. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue to play this. This is awesome, man.
This party's going on in houses that we've all seen a million times, and I just don't want to be conspicuous to draw attention to us.
There's a chain blocking off the lot there.
We've all seen a million times. Is that the Queen Road apartments right there?
We're going to the back side of the house. This is where 112 King is. This is where the killers.
Well,
right there is down where.
I would have gotten out and walked around.
I apologize. Obviously.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're at the back side of the property.
We're on the back side of 1122 King.
Not to say that this is bad. I'm just saying, like, did you want to?
Absolutely I did, but there was kids everywhere. Well, yeah, it was a constant talk with us about how much we were willing to piss people off walking. We did do a lot of drive-throughs the neighborhood. There was areas that we did walk, so we'll talk about that. But anyways,
okay.
Road right here. This is the infamous little parking area.
Yeah, where supposedly the killer walked from.
Right, and DA, I can't stress to you enough how bad DA's camera is. It's so bad. Like in modern times, a camera would have a light filter on it.
I have an S23 Plus, by the way. It's not an ancient camera.
But DA has probably got a camera from 1987. All right, they didn't have cameras in 1987.
Yeah, so right down there would have been the look of the house.
That's where the house would be. You'd be able to look right in the back window there.
Oh, let's see. The bird feeder cam might not be doing a good job. Hold on, we'll use this. This is probably good in low light, right?
It is good in low light, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna try to at least make sure that we get stuff.
So
right.
Molly supposedly parked back here and walked down.
There's the apartments right there.
Look at how tight these are together. Look at how close the Queen apartments are to the residence.
Right, and here to our left, you can't really see it. It's right down there.
We'll get video in a second.
Yeah, you should apologize for your camera on your phone.
I apologize for my fucking camera. We'll do this in the day. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
The house was
just
right here.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get
two guys being dudes.
Right.
Now let's be quiet because there's a bunch of people partying right there. That's where the house was, right there.
Yeah, the house is right there, but you can't see shit.
All right, there's a bunch of people partying on the house next to it, so we're still right behind it.
So anyway, we're gonna come by here, guys. Again, I apologize that we couldn't see much with this camera.
Bunch of shoes hanging from the.
Now we're gonna talk a little bit more about why you would pick this place.
Because people brought this up earlier. It is fucking weird being here because I've seen countless videos. Now,
let me say, I want to say another thing real quick.
Hold on.
Okay. The Banfield.
Guys, that's Sigma Chi right there.
That
is the famous Banfield. Turn right. This is right where the cops had those guys questioning, which means that right behind us, around here, is where the people were running down that side street.
Now
where we just came from.
Let me tell you another observation I have. The houses here are extremely tight. It is really, really packed with buildings and people everywhere here. And
DA, guys, just so you guys know, DA is at the band field right now.
But here's
on the left.
Here's what's surreal.
Yes,
to me.
yes.
Why the fuck would you pick this for your murder scene? If you're gonna randomly pick a house, are you gonna pick a place where there's 1 million cars, 1 million houses, everything? I mean, this is packed tight. This is one of the tightest areas in the entire campus. Every house here is touching each other, right next to each other, and there's cars everywhere. There's partying everywhere. We saw people partying. That's where you pick your murder scene? Why wouldn't you pick an isolated place? That to me again means the house wasn't just a random actor. That house was targeted, even in the fact that it was in a really bad place. That is not where you would pick to fucking do a murder. That thing is in the middle of a whole shit ton of fucking house.
That area, as soon as you get into that area, you go from being like in what looks like the campus to like a separate little residential area.
There's nothing isolated about it. You can't get away with shit there. Like, I mean, they did, obviously. But, I mean, it's literally... Oh, you want me to fucking... Okay, I'm gonna go back. I know.
I almost ran somebody over. He's chewing my ass.
I know. But,
we're almost done here.
When I was just there, we just...
I'm jealous, DA. I wish I would have been there.
Looks...
It would have been awesome.
What field is that?
That was that park I said we drove past it. When we were just driving in that area...
I hit my brakes for those guys and like the bird cam seed went up there, so because I was like, shit, I gotta stop these people.
You should have put, next time, I'm gonna go with you. We'll put a GoPro on the outside of your car with a
Guys, sorry about
fisheye
that.
lens.
I'm doing double camera duty, and I didn't see any panties in the street, 1-1.
That is kind of normal.
Rhonda, Robin Lynn, I'm not sure anything happened like they said. Yeah, right. I agree with that. All right, so here's the thing. Just driving through that area, it is, guys, I promise you, it's tighter in person in that the streets there. They're right,
tight.
Like, the streets are, everything is very tight.
Very tight.
And so, all this, official story business, and on top of that, the band field is fucking close to the house.
I mean, real close to that.
It's surprising how close the band field is.
Is that for sure the band field? Yeah,
yes, that was the band field.
Yes.
The band field was very, very close. Jeremy, that's what she said.
Very, very tight.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, my friend.
Well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's epic. The fact that you guys went out there. I was going to say, like, what made you, and look, I get it. I'm not trying to play, Monday morning quarterback. I wasn't there. So take this as just a general question.
Yeah.
Was there any part of you that wanted to pull over and go talk to those kids partying?
No, because, it's funny because I didn't want to piss people off. I had heard that a lot of people are really irritated at looky-loos and all that shit like that. In fact, it's kind of funny because Joe, I didn't even think about this, but Joe said, if anybody asks what we're doing here, I'm seriously thinking about relocating to Idaho. I've always wanted to see it, and you kind of know the area. So the story is I'm coming in to think about relocating to the area and whatever. And I thought to myself, well, that's stupid. Like, who's going to ask? Everybody we ran into. So what are you in town for? What are you in town for? And I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm so glad we had a backstory because I think, and it was funny because we had a long discussion about going to the Corner Club because it's that everything is so fucking tiny there. The Corner Club is tiny. I mean, tiny. And I said, do we want to be two 55-year-old dudes walking into a college like a bar with a bunch of young girls? We're gonna get laughed out of there. Like, do you guys think you're gonna score? Like, what are you doing here? Like, get the fuck out of here, So we maybe we should rethink the Corner Club. And then the Grub Truck, same thing. I swear to God, Birdie, I'm gonna say something. Here's the thing. You know how they say guys mature faster than women? Here's the thing. Pervert moment. The women looked like women in Pullman. In Moscow, The guys looked like fucking boys, like little boys. It looked like a bunch of little 12-year-old boys running around. And
Really?
the women the women kind of looked like women. But the guys are like, they look like 12-year-old boys. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go stand at the grub truck with a bunch of 12-year-old boys. Like that might look bad. Like so we really had a lot of discussions about how awkward it would have been to get out and stand around and try to make conversation with my gray beard and shit with a bunch of children, essentially compared to me.
I have our cover story when we go.
Yeah.
You could be my dad. We're touring the University of Idaho.
Right. Yeah, you're checking it out. I'm going to be an athlete.
I'm a 5-star recruit for football.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it.
I'll play that up. The entire story will just be like a fantasy dream life. That's like, oh wow, really, we're wearing like button cameras. We're mic'd up.
Right. Right. We're doing a special for like an NFL special. And he's coming here to talk about his hometown when he was in Poland or Moscow.
Yeah. You've never heard of Birdie. What are you guys living under a rock?
Right. Come on, dude. He's an all-star quarterback. It's Birdie.
Yeah. I got a cannon.
Yeah. You'd probably score, I guess. But no, you can't. You're married. You can't. It's not even an option. It's not an option. I get it. Yeah. Clown hand.
No, that would be I will say though, look, I could talk a big game with like I would have gotten out of the car. I totally see your point too, because it's like once you say that, who's to say that doesn't completely backfire? Like you guys could drive away, you could do whatever, but it's also like, dude, you're talking about a controversial topic in a town that clearly is trying to keep everything quiet.
Yeah, and I did get around and walk around. I mean, I got around and I shot footage at the coffee house apartments on the ground with boots on the ground around that building and got out and I did walk around Moscow, but I didn't walk around the main street, the main house, and I debated it. I almost went back. And in fact, my wife and I are probably going to go back next weekend or the weekend after, because again, the person who said, hey, I'd like to meet you, stop on by. And I'm like, I just left. And like, crap, if you're back in town, I'm like, I'll be in town next weekend if you really have something. Like, I'm not that far away. So we may go back and talk to them, but we'll see. Well, so yeah, it was quite the adventure.
Real quick too, I just want to say, Custody Queen Kristen, thank you so much for the super chat. Cannot wait for next Wednesday with the lawyer. So shout out to the Custody Queens. They've been crushing it. If you guys don't subscribe to them, go do that. Great show, Birdie and DA. Thank you for sharing your content with us. The population in the super small area is quite telling when you are looking at it like this. But after all, it was a really quiet night in Moscow. Love you guys. Well, thank you so much.
I got to ask you, Birdie. I got to ask you, because your show, if you've got a lot of people in here, I've got a treat for you. I know. Well, and the rest of the show will be talking about Zana, Ethan, all that shit that you want to talk about. I swear to you, with your audience, I've got a treat for you. We had an individual who works with AI to make songs, right? And they made a song taken from the perspective of Dylan, telling her story about what happened that night. It pretty much happened at 4 a.m. The song's called Pretty Much. You need to play this for your people.
Oh, you got to load it up here.
Oh yeah, you guys have to listen to the lyrics carefully. You and leave us on screen, because there's nothing really to watch. It's just a song, but we got a picture of Dylan on it. It'll make some people will be crying. I swear some of you will be crying. Now, granted, it's not for everyone. You might find it offensive if you feel like that's victim shaming, but this song is epic.
Okay. Epic. Just let it be known, this is Devil's Advocate song. This has no association with the High Mind and or Birdie.
Cat Farm is the person who made it for me. So shout out to Cat Farm again for this epic. It was, and before you play it, it's not just AI. Cat Farm has to tweak that stuff. So she gives it the premise. She even gives it some lyrics. When it comes back with something, she then retweaks it. Yeah, add this. So this collaboration is half human, half AI, and it's fucking epic. Listen.
Okay. All right. I'll add it to the stage now. Here it is. Oh man.
Yeah, it's beautiful, dude.
Is it real or just a dream? Can I tell you what I've seen? Pretty much at 4 a.m. a man appeared in front of me.
It's super catchy too.
I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring.
Exactly.
Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m.
went straight past and left her there. When I saw her lying on the floor, I ran away, but I wasn't scared. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened.
Sounds like a church tune almost.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't know what happened. Pretty much everyone is super nice. No one's answering. I'm really confused. I'm not remembering. Please may I be excused. It wasn't like anything was wrong. I don't know if this is real or not. She danced with the dog and sang a song. What happened? I don't know. I forgot. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened. Pretty much.
Yes, man.
What happened? Pretty much. Everyone is super nice. I
Epic.
don't remember at all.
It's actually really good melody.
It is. It's a freaking phenomenal song on top. I mean, it's catchy. Oh God. I
Wow.
appreciate sharing that with your audience because that shit is off the hook, top notch comedy
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, that's a top dog to Cat Farm. Top cat
Cat
award. Top cat award.
Top cat award. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get a cat now. Top
You're
cat
right.
award.
Wow. Well, that
No.
I mean, seriously, you crushed that. It's actually that wasn't even that offensive.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not
I mean,
that
it
bad.
was-
You have to have a sense of humor in life. I mean,
Right.
it's a serious topic, but yeah.
I mean,
it's-
for God's sakes, if you believe that waiting 8 hours to call 911 is logical, yes, you're probably, reporting this and screenshotting it and, crying. But if you're normal and you believe that it's rather almost impossible and it's very weird that somebody would wait 8 hours to call 911 when 4 of their friends get stabbed, you allegedly don't hear anything. You were asleep. You don't know if it's real or fake. You see one of them on the ground. You allegedly texted someone, according to one of the victim's father, in leaked text messages saying, quote, I think someone killed them when you were talking to the grand jury and you created more questions than answers. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe then it's a little bit like reasonable that somebody would start to kind of, clown that story.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it was amazing. I'm glad we got a chance. Your audience got a chance to see it because we played it 1 or 2 times and everybody laughed hysterically both times we played it. And I was like, Birdie's got to put this on his bigger show where a lot of people can see it and appreciate it. So
Yeah,
So-
I will. I'll play it again at the end of the stream. But Cat Farm, I want to put out a request, if you wouldn't mind, to make a song for the Hive in regards to kind of this entire situation just being corruption, a giant cluster fuck.
by the way, but
Normies,
she does-
NPCs, Ashley Banfield, Brian Enton, maybe call Brian Enton like a beta ass low T simp or something. I don't know.
she did. Cat Farm made another song. I've only heard it once. Not 100% as epic as this, but we asked her to do a song called "Nothing Happens in Moscow," and it's good. It's really good. So sometime we might play that as well. So nothing really happens in Moscow, and it's worthy. It's for sure worthy. But pretty much, I think
Angel
it was
Heart said, I'll write one. I'm a songwriter. Nice.
amazing. Nice. That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, let's hear them. I'll play them all. I think that's crazy. And I also think too, on a real note, on a very serious note, I've said this. humor, comedy is one of the best ways to wake people up to corruption, to crimes, to kind of red pilling people through memes, stand up, right? You see it a lot. It resonates better than just trying to explain it. You know what I mean? I don't know why that is, but there's a lot of truth to that. Like comedy is a huge red pill.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a known fact. Like a lot of people who are on stressful jobs, police officers, EMTs, they have what they call dark humor because you have to be able to stress relieve some of the shit that you see. And people who don't understand that stress think it's inappropriate, but a lot of it is just a way of dealing with a very, very difficult situation. And humor is a way for us to kind of cope with those feelings. So,
you know what's so funny about AI? And I got a funny butt. Or
pretty much lived it.
Lived that. You know, that one. This is, I promise you, Hive, when I tell you that like DA or Sammy T, Phoenix back in the day, any guest that I have on, I do this show completely live. We might talk backstage for 10, 15 minutes and say, hey, here's what the slides look like. Start thinking through, what do you want to say about it? I like it this way. And so I didn't know that DA had the pretty much video already loaded up.
Yeah.
I saw some comments talking about how AI is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? AI I know that Cat Farm did some work with that and tweaked it. But let's talk about Miss Ashley Banfield here. And I'll go back through these. So this is on this is on, oh come on, where did it go? So this is on February 22nd of 2023. So this would have been what, Dia? 3 months after the murders?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this ironic? Oops. I gotta share it. Here we go. How ironic is this that our girl, Ashley Banfield, is saying this about AI, yet roasting Brian Koberger? Let's just, I'll leave it at that.
I want to bring in Matthew Canham. He is a leading expert in human cybersecurity and the CEO of the company behind Layer 7. This worries me because honestly, I feel like you could have people, confessing to crimes. You could completely frame people. How easy is it to do this kind of thing?
Yep.
Well, Ashley, it's actually a lot easier than you might think. And I actually made an audio deep fake of you, and I sent it to your producers earlier today. It took me less than 10 minutes, and it cost me less than $5 to make. We can play it if you'd want to.
I mean, I don't know. Do I want to? Is this something? Okay, all right. I'm being told in my ear I have to play. Okay, so all right, let's play it. After years of covering crime and justice cases, I thought it would be fun to start committing some crimes of my own. And I did. A lot of them. From now on, whenever you hear about a crime, whether it's shoplifting, robbery, or even murder, it was probably committed by me, News Nation anchor Ashley Banfield. Wow. Okay, I'll be honest with you, Matthew. I would have said that's me. I would have honestly said that was me. $5, and how long did it take you to do that?
About 10 minutes, but that includes about 3 minutes to download an audio clip of you. So now that I have that audio clip, maybe 2 minutes or less to produce another one.
Thank you for watching. Go to News.
I mean, dude, you can't make that up. She's like, maybe you could frame somebody for murder. And you know what? Let's talk about these photos. Let's talk about how they're all grainy and Brian looks different in all of them. And that thumbs up picture, wow, that's a trophy. Really, Ashley? Are they paying you for? Because they released 19 other ones. You haven't said anything about those.
Yeah.
So are you sure it's a trophy?
Yeah. Right.
Or are you just saying anything?
100%. And I said this earlier. Like we're at the point where you cannot believe what you see with your own eyes. And I said, it's going to be weird when we start having court cases where someone says, you did do this crime. We've got you on video. And you say, that's not me. That's AI. Like that. Prove that's me. Prove that's me. Anybody, I can have a 15-year-old kid do the same thing and put you shoplifting that store. So it's not me. Wasn't me.
So So there's a couple things, and I agree, that's going to be absolutely trippy. If it's not already happening, right? If it, you know what it could do in at least, what happens? Can it bring initial charges? Can you use AI to bring initial charges and get this ball rolling? Raise suspicion, change public perception? Absolutely, you could. So there's two things that I want to talk about that clip. One, Ashley Banfield acts like, oh, I don't know if I want to hear it. I have this guest on, which clearly I'm getting blindsided right now. And she says, well, nope, I have to do it. There's somebody in my ear telling me to do it. Okay. Yeah. Well, Ashley, that's how we know someone's got their hand up your ass and is making your mouth move. Okay. Secondly, that guy said it took him, after having a 3-minute audio download version, it took him total less than 10 minutes and less than $5. What can you do with 50 grand? And weeks worth of time.
And and I don't want to get all conspiratorial on it, but I've told people think about how much money the government has. Do you not believe it's possible? I'm going to throw this out there. Is it possible that a president can die in office and they can convince the population that the president's still alive and do speeches, and you'll see him on TV, and for months he's been dead, but they just don't want people to know because it would cause panic? And so could they ride out the end of somebody's term when they're already dead with AI? I think so. I 100% think they can convince people. Stick them in an AI in the Oval Office giving speeches. Hey guys, for whatever reason, I'm going to be doing this from here for now. And people would not know the difference because the government has way better technology. I don't even know a lot, and I could probably AI gen the president sitting in the Oval Office giving a thing. Think about what they can do with their budget. There's no way that they can't fake that. So we're in a scary time.
We are in an extremely scary time. And dude, what's insane is I can log in to an AI music site. Okay. So check this out. I'm going to say, create a song about a corrupt police department and university president who are trying to cover up crimes in Moscow, Idaho. Make it catchy. And what theme should we do? Should we do catchy and, a combo of, let's say, rap and country?
I'll be, it depends on the tool that you use. You may not get it because they have guardrails on these things, and they'll tell you it's inappropriate to accuse law enforcement of inappropriate things, to say that they would do anything wrong. I've run into lots of AI that just won't discuss that. Sorry, we don't do things that would make law enforcement look like they're bad. So we'll see if they do it.
It'll have it ready, and it'll have a preview in 30 seconds. And by the way, I paid $50 for 300 credits because I was trying to. I did this when I started roasting a troll over on TikTok. I made a screamo song about how they're just an idiot. I need to make you want to know what I need to make? I need to make a combo remix of an MSNPC and a God damn it, Jeff. That's what I need to make a remix of. It's that Skrillex song where they're oh my God, yes. I need to make that but all right, here we have the Cover Up Blues. Can you hear it?
Straws in the law, university press sitting high on his throne, sweat on his brow, but his sins ain't alone. Sipping coffee black while the files burn gray, evidence lost like a needle in hay. Behind closed doors, deals made in the dark. They say it's just shadows, but we know it's a spark. They're hiding that sliding, dirt under the rug. Truth in the joke, cold swept with a shrug. Moscow secrets buried deep in the frost. Cover up blues, counting what we've lost. The cameras wink, but the footage goes blind. Hands in the till, yeah, justice rewinds. Blue lights blinking, but the sirens don't sing.
Oh, that was just the preview. All right, I'll play the other version. Oh, I like this already.
Yeah.
Sipping coffee black while the files burn gray. Evidence
Evidence lost like a needle in hay. Behind closed doors, deals made in the dark. They say it's just shadows, but we know it's a spark. They're hiding, they're sliding dirt under the rug. Truth in a chokehold, swept with a shrug. Moscow secrets buried deep in the frost. Cover up blues, counting what we've lost. Footage goes blind, hands in the till, yeah, justice rewinds. Blue lights blinking, but the sirens don't sing. Press and the chief, they're the puppets on strings. Students whisper, but the walls got ears. Hush money flowing, drowning out their fears. Classroom to courthouse, all stitched with decay, but you can't scrub the stench of yesterday. Records redacted, truth subtracted. They say it's all good, but the math compacted. Not from sunsets now, badges flash alarms are drawing straws in the law. University press sitting high on his throne, sweat on his brow, but his sins ain't alone. Sipping coffee black while the files burn gray. Evidence lost like a needle in hay. Behind closed doors, deals made in the dark. They say it's just shadows, but we know it's a spark. They're hiding, they're sliding dirt under the rug. Truth in a chokehold, swept with a shrug. Moscow secrets buried deep in the frost. Cover up blues, counting what we've lost. Cameras wink, but the footage goes blind. Hands in the till, yeah, justice rewinds. Blue lights blinking, but the sirens don't sing. Press and the chief, they're the puppets on strings. Cameras wink, but the walls got ears. Hush money flowing, drowning out the fears. Classroom to courthouse, all stitched with decay, but you can't scrub the stench of yesterday. Records redacted, truth subtracted. They say it's all good, but the math's compacted.
All right, this is Jeff H's echo chamber, and then we will get into our topic, Hive.
Oh, wow.
All right, so wait, why is this flashing repetitively? It's a club in here. All right, here's wait, dude, look at these look at the thumbnails. All right, here we go. Let's see. This is Jeff H's echo chamber. It'll probably process and then just play 30 seconds. So I like it already.
Typing loud again, clinging to the script they send. Mainstream stories, his best friend. Critical thought, that's the end. Oh, Jeff H, stuck in your cage. Scrolling and shouting, filling the page. Oh, Jeff H, can't turn the key. Locked in the loop of your TV.
God damn it, Jeff.
So much across his mind. What's on the news is truth defined. Single voice, a single tone. In Jeff's world, he's not alone. Every stream.
All right, let's see the other one. Then we'll get to it.
Jeff H is typing loud again, clinging to the script they send. Mainstream stories, his best friend. Critical thought, that's the end. Oh, Jeff H, stuck in your cage. Scrolling and shouting, filling the page. Oh, Jeff H,
Oh, that's catchy.
That's
can't
good.
turn the key. Locked in the loop of your TV.
Yeah, that's a hook.
No, that's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
and I just want to say that the Hive owns all of the rights to those songs. So,
That's the beauty of it
anyways.
too. YouTube can't punish you for copyright infringement, so it's beautiful.
No, it is. It is. And like, guys, things like that. This is a live show. This is a live stream. I don't know what's going to happen. For God's sakes. I mean, DA and I, we've talked about how he's risen up some Twin Peaks waitress. He's walking with his best friend by a suspect bathroom at a park in New York with a questionable hole in the door. I don't know. Like,
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
but no. Anyways, just that the Ashley Banfield, the deep fake, how she's afraid of it. Like, she could say that about herself, but it's like, Ashley, I don't think you're dumb.
Right.
I think you're playing dumb. I think you're paid enough to seem dumb.
Right. Yeah, and frankly, I don't like to talk bad about people, but right when you started to play her clip, I get irritated listening to her talk. She's such a talking head, and I get so irritated. It's like she's starting to get the level of Nancy Grace for me. Like I immediately like, oh God, do I have to listen? Do I have to listen to this? But anyway.
What's that? What's the movie where is it Step Brothers, where they started talking and they're like, shut your fucking mouth. Shut up. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
you know, I got a bunch of stuff here. All right, that if you guys could see it here, on the photo at the bottom, in addition to Ethan and Zana and where their whereabouts are, that, in my opinion, is a huge discrepancy in the timeline. And I had said the other day on stream, I go, does anybody find it a little bit weird? All of the documents, all of the audio, all of the security footage, all of the press hearings, all of the interviews. Can anybody lay out a crystal clear timeline of how Bryan Kohberger committed this crime? Right? Can you lay out a crystal clear timeline of where 2 of the 4 victims were? I mean, how do they not even clear up a rumor if someone's yelling Xana's name at the grub truck?
Yeah.
How do they not even just clear that up?
Yeah. Right. There's a lot of things they didn't ask, a million things they didn't ask and didn't even attempt to try to figure out.
My question is this. Why? Why won't they clear this up? Not the grub truck only. I'm saying they have to know. I know they know. There's no way that they don't know where these 2 were.
This is what I say to that. The simple answer to why didn't they ask this question or why didn't they ask that question? You know what the answer is? Because they already know the answer. You don't ask questions you already know the answer to. So there's reasons, in my opinion, to play devil's advocates why they didn't follow up on things. There's no reason to ask the question. They already know. They already know what happened. So there wasn't any reason to go down a certain rabbit hole and waste time on it because they know what happened. We don't know what happened, but there's reasons why they didn't ask questions because they already know what happened.
Well, so also when I was talking to Kristen, one of the custody queens, earlier today, I saw this on X. It was a screenshot from like a Reddit thread. Somebody did, and I don't know the thread off the top of my head. I have to go back and I have to find it. I was looking at this over the weekend while I was laying my ass in bed, and I was just scrolling Reddit, and I'm looking at some of the Idaho 4 stuff. Somebody had like a to scale, like if let's say like Maddie's injuries, they put somebody to scale. If they were 5'6", 145 pounds, here's what the size of the wounds would look like on the body. And they did them front, back, side, like what you would picture from like a diagram. They must have used AI and actually pasted the autopsy report into it. Dude, it got me thinking. Each of the victims was stabbed approximately, 50 times? Get like 50 times, so call it 200 stab wounds, give or take. And then does Kohberger or whoever did this, right, if we're talking about in the light of this, what the mainstream idiots say, he did it in such a fast timeline. Like, did he miss while they were fighting back? Right. So I started thinking, I'm like, even if you gave like a very low conservative estimate of like missed attempts, let's just say like 5, 6 each, 225, what the force would need to be for a knife to go through skin, the back of the skull, dude, one of their heads looks like damn near Freddy Krueger's claws.
And I don't want to get super morbid, but another thing I want to point out. One, okay, I'm going to try to do this without being super morbid. Head wounds bleed more than anything. Kaylee was stabbed in the face, what they said,
and
20
fingers
times,
and
the
fingers too.
And fingers, and they bleed like a mother sticker. Not only how much force has to be applied, but how do you not lose your grip? That knife is covered in blood. It would have been slippery as hell. It would have come out of your hand. You would have cut your own hand. You would have had to pick it up again. You would have, and it would be slippery. I mean, again, not getting super morbid, but if you think that knife isn't coated in blood and slippery and falling, there's a reason why some combat knives have finger holes to stick your fingers into, because when it's covered in blood, you're going to lose the grip on the knife. So I don't even know how you think someone possibly could have done that.
Well, and so where I was going with that, dude, is I want to know how many people, like whatever that force would need to be delivering a devastating blow, how many people in 7 minutes can even lift their arm up and down 250 times in that manner?
Right.
In addition to having somebody fight back, in addition to going to 2 different floors in the dark, not waking up the other roommates. Look, I hate to go here, but I think it's needed, because you can't have a conversation about this crime and this ridiculous timeline without acknowledging the brutality of what 50 stab wounds would be looking like. There would be chunks of hair, teeth, perhaps, clothing. Guys, it would be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be ugly. And the fact that there's this cleanup and they happen to clean up all of the DNA that just so happens to be the perpetrators, and somehow this person cannot miss anything of their own DNA. I mean, the cleanup is acknowledged by Ann Taylor. There's evidence of a cleanup. Ann Taylor has yet to say anything of that magnitude and not have the receipts for it. You know what I'm saying? Look at the pictures. That seems to be enough of a receipt too.
I'm in my own head because I saw a user's comment come by. A boxer could do that. Oh yeah, because Brian Koberger went to a gym to lose weight and boxed on a heavy bag. That makes him a boxer, and now that makes him capable of delivering that many punches because he's a boxer. Like that. I don't mean to attack a person, but you have to understand the flaws so much in that logic. First of all, Brian Koberger didn't train to box.
This guy.
He didn't get into a ring to box somebody. He didn't box anybody. He was losing weight at a gym on a heavy bag. He wasn't in the ring boxing with somebody. He wasn't a combat specialist. And boxers, by the way, are taught to keep the distance between you and the person you're fighting, not to close. So you keep people. But you know who is trained to kill that fast is people who are knife fighting trained, who close on their victims and slam them against the wall, which would be consistent with some of the things that they say. Like nothing about a boxer makes sense. But for some people, it makes sense. Well, yeah, a boxer delivers blows, so therefore of course he can throw a whole bunch of blows with a bloody knife and not lose control of it because he's a boxer. Like I don't understand that. Like I just don't understand how. Like
one of the things that I'll say is, you know, like resistance bands, like for weight training. Try to do 250 curls in 7 minutes with a light resistance band, guys, without somebody fighting for their life. In the dark, in a house that you apparently didn't pick, and you have no idea, no connection to the victims. You don't know where they are, who's there.
And let's not also forget that according to the official narrative, the one that they kind of want you to believe, again, we don't know, right, is that he was in the middle of killing somebody and got surprised by somebody and then had to chase them down the stairs. So now it's not even a matter of doing the stabs in that time. He chased someone through a house, chased them into another room. So now you got to take all that time out. So this number of stabs and the amount of time is reduced by the amount that he's chasing people around the house, supposedly, if you believe the official narrative that he got caught in the middle of stabbing people on the top floor and chased Zana back to her room. So.
And if you listen to Keith and his old saggy balls on Dateline, he's saying that Brian Koberger apparently sat down and damn near had a smoke break and ripped a dart out of a chair in a room.
Yep.
Dude, these people, if they are this dumb, I don't think we're geniuses, DA.
Yeah. No.
Guys, like, I don't know what it is about this case that people cannot see that the timeline, and talking about a timeline, it is not victim shaming. It has nothing to do with not leaving the families alone. We're not talking about the families. Do you guys ever notice how little I actually talk about the families? I don't bring up any. I've talked about Steve G in the texts and interviews that I feel like maybe he's narrative planting. That's it. Literally, you know what I'm saying? I don't talk about the families. I say that it's a little bit odd that maybe Stacey Chapin and the Crime Con and what you had broke, which is a bombshell of what Stacey Chapin said to, Kim Middleton, or it's Kim Middleman, right?
Middleman, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Middlemans who own Othram, the IgG company that broke this trace DNA case wide open, and saying that, she just randomly bumped into Miss Chapin at some random conference where JonBenet Ramsey was there, which, by the way, they're doing another conference together. JonBenet Ramsey's mother and...
Of course, yeah. I think they're going to do a whole tour of the United States, yeah.
Wow. Talk about two cases that Othram has now shielded their company with by having Ethan's mother and JonBenet Ramsey's mother. How dare you question IgG? This solved a murder, you monster. We got closure. We got justice.
I don't know that I like to do this, but all these people who are saying, because there's a lot of people in the chat, yeah, a boxer can totally do this. I feel like here's what I want to do. I want to go to a random town, go to a boxing gym, and take a boxer. No, I'm going to go to a boxing gym. I'm going to say, hey, can you please just do an exercise? You're random pulled boxer, just a boxer in the place.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Not Mrs. Ramsey. I didn't mean my babe. The JonBenet Ramsey case. Thank you. Yes. Miss Patsy Ramsey or Patty Ramsey is dead. Thank you, chat. I'm more so saying two cases that are nationwide world news. Thank you for checking me on that. But I'm just saying, you guys get my point. You can't question this. You got two sets of parents that lost kids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, so I would just be curious, again, factoring out people fighting for their lives. I just want to take a random boxer off the street and have two mannequins on one floor and two mannequins on the other floor, and say, please stab this mannequin 50 times, this mannequin 37 times, run down the stairs, stab this mannequin 50 times and this one 37 times, and I'm going to time you and prove too that you could even do it without them fighting back. And again, that's without fighting back. And I bet you can't get that done. But I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a dry run of that myself. But
dude, I've talked about this case ad nauseum, and to your point of it's not us against the chat, right? Like as you guys know, if you're new to the Hive is a part of the stream. Dia, I know you treat your the den, the chat the same way, but there has to be a moment where all of us who have looked into this case way more than the average person have to have a come to Jesus moment and say, okay, we are trying to make this story make sense still within the confines of what we are told. Although there are dozens of discrepancies, audio discrepancies, camera discrepancies, court document discrepancies, timeline, in the court docs, what they say, discrepancies, right, DA? How many discrepancies before we have to maybe just look at what is the end result of this crime and forget every damn thing that we've heard about it? Where do like if you could do like the Men in Black, like the for like a memory loss?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because there are a lot of people that have followed this case that do not believe the mainstream narrative, that whether they think it was the frats, whether they think it was, drug and gang related, the university, local cops, whatever it is, your theory, you guys know we entertain all of them, or at least the Hive does. And it's like DA Kopaka, right? How the hell does not one of those start to stick out more than others through and through with everything that we can read and see?
Yeah.
I am really starting to go under the impression, well, yes, there are Easter eggs and there are tidbits and there are clues that are mixed into the police documents, the MPD, the ISP, the audio, the security footage, all that. Yes. I think it's so scrambled. I think that nothing that we've seen get released would have risked anything in a trial. Genuinely.
Yeah.
This is national security? This is redacted? Are you shitting me?
How is that national security? Right. Yeah.
The 911 call being redacted?
Yeah.
What?
So
or
much
is
is redacted.
Is it just because we see through it? It's too easy. It's a trap almost to see through something this easy.
Yeah.
Everything in this case has a shock factor. Like we were talking about DA, how they want $100 million from WSU for each of the victims, $400 million. People are going, $100 million? Yeah, that's a lot of money, but there's a shock factor to that dollar amount where you focus on that. Oh, is that a money grab? Is that this? How are they going to do that? What if Bryan Kohberger gets exonerated? Instead of really diving into like, okay, what, that's what I'm going to ask one of the questions to lawyer, with the custody queens next Wednesday. Can you just throw any dollar amount out there when you're suing somebody like that? Because what if you would have asked for $1 million and you get 20 grand? You were like, oh shit, I should ask for 100 million. You get 20 million.
Right.
Is that how, is that as easy as it is?
Yeah. And here's the thing that people don't pay attention to. I mean, maybe they do, but like the reason why the university is being sued is because they're the one with the money. Like they're not suing the people who are responsible. They're who has money? The university has money. Okay, then let's ask for $500 million, $500 million for this thing, saying it's your fault you didn't stop this from happening because you've got the money. Like they're just literally going after the person that has the deepest pockets and then coming up with a way that they can make them culpable for it and sue them for an insane amount of money. And in America, you can sue anybody you want to if you get a lawyer, and some lawyer is going to take it up because their cut of that is an enormous piece of cut, and it could make their career if they can successfully sue the university for $500 million or some shit. So.
And one of the things that we talked about, DA, on Saturday when I did my stream over the weekend, we were trying to look at like the language. This is obviously not the official filing, but one of the things in this article, which shout out to, I believe it was Miss Potts, like downloaded whatever app that you needed to do and made an account to get the full article, right? And then Cat's Mojo screenshotted it and sent it to me. One of the things that I found odd is that they said, the victims' families are alleging that WSU brought Bryan Kohberger to Pullman, brought Bryan Kohberger to WSU. And I started thinking to myself, if that's how it ends up being filed, we haven't seen it. So,
Birdie froze.
This is speculation.
Birdie froze.
Right, arguably a prediction that I'm going to say. If they file, am I back?
Cutting in and out.
Son of a bitch. Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, chat. I thought I was frozen. You can hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Holy hell. What was the last thing that you saw or heard?
You were going into a whole thing and then you froze in the middle of it. So now I got to try to remember what you were. Oh, you were trying to lay out an argument and it froze.
Hive, help me out. So, it was like, I thought it was odd that this article stated, if we see this go through, a prediction that I'm going to say is the victims' families are alleging that Bryan Kohberger was brought to the area by WSU. So I started thinking, well, that's weird. If Bryan Kohberger is applying to go out there, no, he's choosing to go out there. And so they're in a civil case, the criminal timeline doesn't matter. It's way less of a burden of proof needed. And this is what I'm going to go into next Wednesday, like I said. But when I was talking with Kristen and Sam, who are obviously lawyers, they were saying that it's odd how little the criminal timeline is needed in a civil case, right? And so if WSU created the conditions for Bryan Kohberger to commit these crimes, that's a weird argument for that sum of money because, yes, the burden of proof might be way less, but think about this. Is there an argument to be made about, well, what if they did fire Bryan Kohberger for complaints and he went and he, pew-pewed up a public spot for being pissed? How are you going to say that him not getting fired because of complaints is what caused this, which happened in a different state, might I add you?
Yeah.
So what if this lawsuit, WSU created the conditions necessary for a student like Bryan Kohberger to be there? All effing ties back to the funding of the NIJ?
I know. We have been recently, Joe and I have been recently trying to find the recipients, and we did find this, the recipients of the money of the NIJ study, who got paid money. And we asked the question, did Othram Labs receive money from the NIJ study? Guess what? Not directly, but through a third party. Othram partners with a company that did get paid by the NIJ study. So if you go down the conspiracy road that they wanted to hide that Othram was literally getting paid off in essence by that study, that everybody is wondering, did Kohberger come in here for this study for a reason? Yeah, Othram Labs got paid money indirectly through the third party kind of hiding it. By the way, one more thing, and I don't want to, because people are asking me to do this. Joe and I had a moment where the conspiracy mind went nuts. Right next to the Pimlico Apartments where Kopacka was at, we drove left and we drove right instead of left at some place. We're like, hey, what's down there? There was a big, what looked like government complex, very square buildings, very government. It had at the front of the building, it had a flagpole with 3 flags, the US flag, the Canadian flag, and the Mexican flag flying out front. It was a company called SEL. Everything was really, really government looking. And they hire former vets a lot. And so we said, holy shit, like Kopacka literally was living within walking distance of SEL, this big company that has things to do with all microchips, the power grid, all kinds of stuff. And it's this big, huge government complex. I was like, okay, I don't want to go too crazy in the conspiracy theory, but the first thing Joe and I said when we saw this government buildings with the
Schweitzer.
Schweitzer Electrical. Yeah, exactly. SEL, Schweitzer Electrical.
Schweitzer Engineering Labs.
Engineering,
actually.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That goes into this cloud base. You talk about all the terabytes of data. Dude, I do start to wonder if this is some sort of sophisticated operation, DA. What did the funding allow the universities to do or not do? Who did that allow the universities to pay or not pay? What resources did they have access to? And then after the crime is committed, you want to talk like sophisticated operations. What tools would they have access to?
Yeah.
That maybe they wouldn't in the name of catching this monster with national security. This casting the net far and wide. Is that how many terabytes and why they had that many terabytes? Guys, I'm totally speculating. I don't know. But what I'm saying is if the families are going to sue them for $100 million because WSU created the conditions that allowed Brian Kohberger to be there. That, to me, does not sound like a bunch of students complaining about his TA grading style, because they would argue Brian Kohberger was a more than capable PhD student who was qualified for this position.
Yeah,
I would also then say, how many other professors have had complaints from students against them?
Right. More than likely, I bet you, I didn't look into the lawsuit. I mean, I heard about the lawsuit, but more than likely you're onto it. Like, this goes back to your first statement. What if it's the NIJ funding? If the families are going to blame WSU for creating the circumstances that brought Kohberger there, and we know Kohberger in his writings in his apartment knew about the NIJ funding, is it the NIJ funding that drew Kohberger to the university in the first place? And so is that their logic? Is that their logic step? You guys made a big funding of $1 million and it lured Kohberger in. And so you're the one that lured him here to commit the crime.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
That's the logic step. Yeah.
Well, can I also say, to me, that's one of the most reasonable, if you're going to go after the people with the deepest pockets where this dude went to school.
Yeah.
And at the end, we also were looking up too on ChatGPT. So take that, with a grain of salt, or take that for what it's worth. If Brian Kohberger gets exonerated, the families don't have to pay that money back, even if it's somebody not associated with it. So it's like, whoa, okay. That's like a, I think ChatGPT said it was that's like a funhouse mirror of law. That makes no sense. Yeah. But, okay. There's no way that these families don't have a line of civil attorneys at their door wanting to tell them they are about to get wrongful death money. They'll get them the most. Why would we be naive enough to think that that's not happening?
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. And I got to take a leak, DA. So the chat is yours for 2 minutes. Hit that damn like button, Hive. Hit that like button.
Oh, shit. There goes your audience. All right, guys. Let's see if I can get some comments that are coming here while you have a moment while he's taking a leak. Let's see. Gray Hughes, talking about Gray Hughes. Lana made a post about Cole Berenger or Berenberg. Was it Berenberg? Cole Berenberg? Is that his name? I forget. God damn it, Jeff. Anyways, yeah, so the SEL thing was something new to us when we were down there. We just literally, our team from my channel literally started researching SEL, the Schweitzer engineering, while we were down on the ground. And then I come back and they're like, yeah, Lana just covered that today. And I'm like, funny, like I didn't even know about SEL until I drove down there. Now, I'm not saying that she got it from me. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying it's funny how these things go like synchronicities. Like all of us are starting to talk about SEL all of a sudden. I don't know that there's anything there to pull, but I know that it made the hairs on the back of our necks go up. Like, what the hell is this very, very strange complex thing? Oh, you wanted me to play the song again. I think Birdie wanted to play the song on the way out, if you're talking about Pretty Much. So hopefully he will play it on the way out for you guys, because that would be, I don't think he takes that long of a leak. So I don't think we have to kill that much time. What were these doing with the study? Inland BK was picked out as somebody who is susceptible to being able to be pushed into kill and acted before they could get them under control and cover up. That's a complex sentence on that one. Let's see. SEL designs, manufactures, supplies digital projects and systems that project or protect, automate the, So I think you're going to go in the power grid, and control power grids to make them safer, more reliable. They do a lot of things, by the way. SEL doesn't just do the power grid. They also are in superconductors. They're also in like air conditioning. They're in a whole, which is why I kind of thought they're like the electrical. But there's a lot of things they have their hands into, and a really interesting building for sure when I saw it. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, this has all the makings of, you would see this on a lot of movies about conspiracy theories, the white vans with just the SEL logo on the side, very nondescript. You know, you don't know anything about them or what they really do. It's like, it has all the makings of a good conspiracy film. And yet it's right there in the middle of this whole thing, right near where the major players are at. So it's interesting. Welcome back, Birdie.
Mrs. Birdie got a new car today.
Oh, wow. What is it? Or can you say? Or do you not?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a Mazda CX-70. She used to drive like the CX-5. I gotta say, Mazda, dude, it is a nice car, like an interior car.
Nice.
Like I've always had like a truck. You know, I did have I had an M4, a BMW, like a sports car during COVID, because for my job I didn't have to drive, and my uncle got me like a smoking deal on it. Yeah, she got a 2014 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra. The bug shield is detachable. It's a snap-on. The sunroof, it actually cloaks itself. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Not to take away from the wife's car, but I have to say this. I had somebody on my channel send me as a gag something I talked about, which is a bumper, a kind of a magnet that I could slap on the side of my door of my car on both sides that said suspect vehicle number 2. And people were daring me to put that on the side of my car when I drove around Moscow. I'm pretty sure I would have got pulled over if I had suspect vehicle number 2 on my white Camry, which looks a lot like a white Elantra. So, but
see, DA, this is
don't
why
have the balls for that.
In my head, again, I know I wasn't there with you.
Right.
I would have had you probably, maybe not driving around. I would have had you a couple fireballs deep.
And you'd egg me into something that's going to get my ass in trouble, and you'd just be filming the whole thing like, oh my God, this is going to be so epic. DA, you got to go over there and ask the guy at the grub truck, can I do this?
Hive, type of 1 if you would watch a live stream of DA and I walking around.
Oh,
at the corner club. That's
a no-brainer right there. That's a no-brainer right there.
Oh man, I actually, DA, we would have a blast.
Yeah, I mean, and I wished you could have been there with us. I think the 3 of us hanging out could have been a riot. Joe and I did well. We did great together, and but yeah, we were. I mean, I know Joe was really disappointed you couldn't make it. He kept saying, "Are you sure Birdie can't come out? Sure Birdie can't come out?" But yeah, can Birdie come out and play?
Yeah. Mrs. Birdie, no, yeah.
Can Birdie come out and play?
No, it would have been a blast. It'll happen. I will get out there at one point or another. I'm really trying to go to CrimeCon next year. I know it's in Orlando, correct?
I don't know where it's at after Vegas. It's in Vegas in May, so
this May it's in Vegas.
This May it's in Vegas. Yeah, I've got tickets. Mrs. DA and I already have a room at the Caesars where they're hosting the CrimeCon, and we're gonna be there.
Oh, maybe it is Vegas, and I don't know why I thought it was Miami or Orlando.
Well, so they have
multiple.
So they have a cruise, a ship. So they have a cruise ship that's going on, and that may be going out of Florida. But the actual CrimeCon convention is in Vegas this year in May.
See, I won't go on a cruise ship in international waters. I won't.
Yeah.
That I feel like we might not come back, DA. Yeah. But fun fact, I proposed to Mrs. Birdie out in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I had a table rented not rented, reserved at is it the Eiffel Tower restaurant that overlooks the fountain? Yeah. So then we got dinner there, and it was great. It was awesome.
Nice.
We took our first trip as a couple to Vegas, and then when we went back, it was under the disguise of we're going for my birthday.
Yeah.
But it was really, I mean, I guess it technically was my birthday, but in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I can't lose this ring. And I hope everything I did over the phone to set this up is in place. But it was great. Like, they had the room decorated.
Nice.
And, it was great.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah. I'm pretty awesome. Right, Mrs. Birdie? Yeah.
It's all
but
good.
let's spend the last 30 minutes talking about Ethan and Zana. I think that Ethan doesn't get talked about enough in this case when it comes to the autopsy reports, the sheer size, him being a man, Brian Koberger being like questionable to be able to beat him up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They do only show pictures of him at a very young age, lengthy, skinny. He looks like he definitely beefed up since that picture of him like behind the boat on a wakeboard before his like whatever that is, his 8th grade picture. And also, dude, I know that there's pictures out there of the victims, but in general, it still feels like kind of a lacking amount for people that are this age where everything's digitalized and online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like youth sports teams, articles, honor rolls, anything. Right? Brian Koberger's a ghost, and he's my age.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know. So, it's super hard. I mean, I think it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The problem is like, here's the thing. You don't understand, like on my side of the channel, because I entertain other theories like you do as well. But like for the last like 3 or 4 days, I've had nothing but people on my show saying it never happened. It's an extraction operation. Nobody actually died in the house. And I've been kind of begging my side, like, please don't make everybody believe that DA thinks it's an extraction event, because we've been talking about extraction events for 3 days that never happened. Nobody actually died in the house, or they died somewhere else and they were brought in. But it would go right. It would go right along with the extraction idea. If they're actors, there's not a lot of pictures of them because it's just a cover story. So that's the thing that makes it interesting. Like, there's a lot of reasons why people are clinging to did it even really happen? Or are they just acting? Or is Brian Koberger really a guy? Or is it just a story, a made up identity, and there's no Brian Koberger? Like, I've heard a lot of things.
Dude, I've had Scott Payne, who was on Joe Rogan, come onto the Hive and talked about he has a fake identity and that they will scrub on a way deeper level than we could even imagine what you would find online. People have to understand too, Google is not the internet. Google is a third party. It is a company that chooses what they will display on their platform as the internet. Now they have billions of results and stuff, and they have massive servers. But it's also a company like, do they have government contracts? What other search engines can be wiped by the FBI for national security or an undercover officer? I mean, you have a federal agent's life on the line, that their new identity better be the only thing that looks like them, the only thing that has their name.
Yeah.
Right. So it's possible. It's possible to be done. It's not saying that this is what happened. I've laid out an entire theory on how maybe that's the case. There's a really big argument to be made about no photos, no pictures, cops moving out survivors and victims' belongings into the back of a U-Haul and the back of pickup trucks.
Well, here's the other thing, by the way, that people don't talk about a lot. And even, I can't even believe I'm going to share this, but on your show, I guess is the place to do it, right? There's also the idea of what if only one person actually died in the house and the others were extracted because their lives were at danger, and they got them out of there because the one person was just kind of like one of the hits. So like, what if one person actually did die? And maybe, for example, and here's the logic hole, right? It's Kaylee. So Steve's not in on the whole, like, remember, all the other families shut their mouth. All the other families weren't doing interviews. All the other families are keeping their mouth shut because maybe their kids are in witness protection. Maybe Steve was the only one who didn't have a kid in witness protection. That person actually died. And the rest of them were like, let's get these kids the fuck out of here. And so all the other families are shutting up because that's part of the plan. They got that, like, we're going to protect your kids. You know, one person got killed, but we can protect the rest of them, and let's get them out of here. And so is that a possibility that, you know,
let me riff off that.
Yeah.
If I was running an operation, I would have somebody be a complete distraction, not the actual victim.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Whose mother said, I hope this isn't because I communicated with the cops in a police report that we verified.
Yeah.
Who had a shit ton of wounds. Would her boyfriend that has stayed at the house maybe be included in being protected?
Right. Right.
Would you have another family step in and take the spotlight off of the actual victims?
Yeah.
Maybe. To your point, though, you're right. We're taking all of these things at face value, yet we've discredited how many other things that we have taken at face value. What the hell? Is it because of some mental roadblock that we feel bad questioning that?
Yeah.
Is that what they're relying on? I'm not saying this is what happened, but seriously, there's a human psychology aspect. That's why I love the Hive. That's why I'm so happy that this channel has succeeded in the way that it has, because we can say this, right? And I don't work for anybody. I'm not a professional at anything. Like, I'm known as the conspiracy theorist crazy guy anyway. So what the hell, right? Like,
yeah.
Dude, what if there was less than 4 victims?
Yeah.
How would we know? There's national security involved. The feds can legally stage a violent event.
Right. Yeah. And
there's
like I said,
funding.
I mean, yeah. And maybe, like I said, maybe one person got killed, and maybe they knew more were coming, and they got the kids out before the rest of them could get bumped off. And that could explain the 8-hour delay, because they needed to make sure the other people were out of the house. And made it look like they all died. You know, there could, I mean, again, I usually don't go too far down those rabbit holes myself, but it's something you have to, if you're being intellectually honest, you have to ask yourself.
I don't even think that it's, in my opinion, again, I could be a little bit biased. I don't even think that it's out of, like, that far of a reach in the realm of possibilities. Does witness protection exist?
Yeah.
Are there always weird circumstances surrounding those cases? Can the feds stage violent events?
Right.
Have we been told the truth about this straightforward loner, serial killer wannabe weirdo Brian Koberger? No, they're talking about love handles on News Nation.
Yeah.
Brian Koberger has not said a word.
Yeah. You know what's funny, by the way? We both have, one who's NYPD, and we don't talk about his real identity because he's not representing NYPD. But we had a really interesting Members Only Live on the streets of Moscow, and the subject came up about what is it possible Payne, who, by the way, Payne's no longer involved with MPD. He's moved out of there. Like after the case is over, he's gone, right? And so we started talking about
a career maker,
right? But so here's the thing. So I asked a question. I just on the fly. I'm like, hey, you know, 1-1, you're NYPD. I want to ask you a question. If it was possible, if it's possible that Payne, as the lead detective, was a corrupt cop, how much could he impact covering shit up in that case? And he said a ton. He said a ton. You'd be surprised how much one guy completely can hide and lie everything in that case if he's the lead. So, and now again, that's not to say he is a corrupt cop, but if he was, 1-1 agreed as an officer, he even said you'd be surprised to see the shit that one person can get away with in the lead position. So you have to wonder when somebody comes in and they're put in lead and then they leave after the operation's done. Was that person put in there because they would control the narrative and make sure it went a certain way and then retire or move on to something else after they've done their job? So again, and I hate to say that because I'm not claiming he did something, but the question has to be asked: could a person, if he was corrupt, if he was somebody that they brought in to control the narrative and make sure a guy went down that may or may not have done it, could one guy have had a major impact in this case? And he's like an insane amount of impact one person could do on controlling the narrative.
Dude. In addition, the marshals have a different set of rules than anybody.
Yeah.
When it comes to that stuff.
For sure.
Right? So like on a surface level, you're absolutely right. 1-1 is absolutely correct. It could be one guy. It could be two guys.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to before I lose this train of thought with Core, that would make sense. Why Dylan says it was Kaylee running around and Ellie said it could have been Zana. What if Zana and Ethan weren't home? What if the perp was killed? Ellie acts like the entire hit went through. One of my theories that I've said is that this assassination plot was spoiled.
Right, because to follow the logic, what she's saying is if the perpetrator who did the killings was himself or herself killed in the commission of the crimes, and again, let's say the hit was on the whole house or on 4 people in the house, right? And the perp died in the commission because they actually fucked up and somebody fought back, Ethan or something fought back and kicked the guy's ass and actually killed the guy. If that happened, could they want the killers who put the hit on the house to believe that the hit went down fine? That the hit went down fine and everyone died like they planned.
Yes.
And so they get the kids out in extraction to hide the fact that and they're like, for all they know, you guys died at the house.
Exactly.
Right.
And that goes back to what we've had a real FBI agent on this stream say, when there's a murder for hire, like if some husband is trying to kill his wife and they have very specific requests saying, I want to, meaning the husband thinks that they're not talking to an undercover Fed and they're talking to the real hitman. They say, I want a picture of this tattoo on their lower back.
Yes.
Yada, 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 with this next to them. Right. That is why the feds can legally stage violent events, is to protect another life. That is one aspect of the greater good doctrine that I agree with. If somebody's about to try to kill you and the feds are aware of it, you should, in my opinion, do what you need to do to protect yourself. But there's a thin line in that case. Now, to your point about letting them continue on and think that everything went as planned, how much can the feds and all of the resources that they have, all of the officers, the multiple departments, all these task forces, how much can they get done in a month, DA?
Yeah.
Before they arrest somebody that takes the public fall.
Yeah.
That they
a month is a long time.
How many 40-hour weeks is that on a normal work week? Not including weekends, not including working 60, 70 hours a week, not including the interns at the FBI that are slaving away to find anything, everything, the 57 terabytes. Why do they let Brian Koberger travel across multiple state lines?
Yeah.
Why is Othram saying they had their DNA within 5 days? Why is Steve G telling his girls in the driveway to his own quote saying, we get to work?
Yeah.
We knew it right away, is what he said in the impact statement.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right? And it's like, let's talk about what the marshals would really do. And it goes at a 40,000 foot view of what you said. And that's, they would misdirect. There would be purposeful misdirection. Are we all confusing purposeful misdirection with corruption?
Right. Right.
Is there an aspect of that in this case? You can't be this corrupt in so many aspects and think you're going to get away with it. Why? You know, I've had Lana on the stream a lot. I like Lana a lot. She's great. I think she's awesome. But one of the things that after the fact, I've said this, I've disagreed with is like, who was I forget the cop's name that filled out the report for the extortion and overt threats. Well, they lied about that just to be able to get this tool approved. Dude, right. The balls that you would have to have as just an MPD officer to lie about extortion and overt threats that would trigger the FBI. It like, if it's separate investigation and they're not privy to that info, which we know from the post-sentencing press conference, there was 2 separate investigations, right? And in general, you're throwing your career away to get access to tools to catch the right guy. Why would they do that? What if that's actually what it was? And guys, there's thousands of documents. What if they forgot that? Like, what if somebody made a mistake?
Right. Yeah.
It's underneath Brian Koberger's and the victims' names. Extortion and overt threats.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always wanted to know what the extortion was. Yeah. I always wanted to know what the extortion was.
You know, and it is what it is. It's just like there's going to be a firewall of discovery at every single step if they're protecting those named and not named in the case. That's court document language.
Yeah.
That is said along with national security. So it's like,
so what is your thinking? Like you said, you wanted to talk about, you know, Zana and Ethan specifically in the timeline of where they were. What are you leaning towards on? Do you think they were there in the house? Do you think
I think Zana was the target.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Zana was the target. If Ethan was there, that was they didn't expect it. And they've reshaped the narrative to have Kaylee back in town to be, that's what was random.
Yeah.
And Dylan and Bethany, they are these confused yet credible witnesses that aren't behaving like a reasonable person. Ann Taylor's letting Brian Koberger take this plea deal, which is ineffective counsel completely. Brian Koberger's name for likelihood ratio is in the middle of all the alt perps that Judge Hippler said don't have enough to be the alt perps.
Right.
Like this is not a conspiracy. Those things that I just said are not a conspiracy. These are documented things. That is too easy. That is too easy that the second we see the documents, there's no having to dig on that. That's just, it's said in black and white. To me, that's reshaping a narrative. That is a firewall of discovery. That is purposeful misdirection. And that there is a completely different narrative. And the reason why a narrative has been pushed so many times is because at the end of the day, we know, they know, psychologists know, people that study this shit, they know, you hear something enough, it becomes the truth.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us who even think critically to get that out of our heads. We are still working in the confines of what could be a completely fabricated narrative. We look at evidence with that narrative burned into our brains. But it's like, why would they do that? Because I'm sure people are going to say, but why, Birdie? Well, I don't know. I'm not a Fed. I'm not a marshal. I don't know. But if I had to guess, failed prosecution is bad. But burning an asset in an ongoing case is even worse.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's if I had to make a judgment in a business decision, I would rather have it just be failed prosecution. We got the wrong guy. We went through it. He's going to get exonerated. He'll get a big lawsuit. rather than burning a live asset that is going and is still around in an ongoing case. I wouldn't burn them. I would put up a completely different narrative. I would have a firewall of national security. I would have everybody acting naturally and only knowing stuff on a need-to-know basis, as Sam, the custody queen lawyer, said. And they would sacrifice this case to protect assets.
I sometimes wonder, this is going in a different direction, but I sometimes wonder if it was an operation or something like that, if they underestimated how big true crime community is getting and how popular YouTube is getting. And they thought, look, this is going to be an easy sell. The mainstream media is under our thumbnail. They'll paint the narrative we want to. And then assholes like Birdie and DA come on and won't fucking let it go. And then I ask, and this is rhetorical. Don't answer this, Birdie, but I want to, if you were in Birdie and I's shoes and the feds came to you one day and said, look, you guys are right. It was an operation. Shut the fuck up. Like already, like you guys are pissing us off. Like this should be an easy thing. And this, and how, I wonder how would you feel? Like, would you continue to be like, look, you guys need to tell the truth, period? Or if they sat you down and said, yeah, it was an operation and here's why it happened. And here's why it is national security. And you need to shut the hell up because you're ruining the cover. you're going to ruin this. Would you shut up? And it's rhetorical. You don't have to answer that. But would you shut up if the feds came to you and said, "Yeah, you're right. It isn't true, but we didn't expect you to keep being a fucking bulldog. You need to let it go."
Well, and it comes down to like, how far are they going to go, DA?
Right.
How far will they go? Well, they will go to the lengths of whatever the law lets them go. And when you have national security, we know that law stretches as far and as wide as they want it to.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to think about this. Can they assassinate someone legally? Probably not. That's where you go into like the black ops, the kind of the black money market.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think necessarily that's what happened in this case, but you got to understand, they can't rewrite physics. They can't rewrite time, but they can bury direction. Like they can bury connections. They can reroute blame. You can fabricate a timeline to make it fit. Those are rather simple things when you do know the truth. And that's what I'm trying to get through to people's heads. If we all knew the truth and we had to come up with a story to convince the public and we had the mainstream media, we had, paid for shills like Banfield and Enton and Nancy Grace and Keith from Dateline. Do you guys realize that we are still such a minority in this case when it comes to people who have read the documents? It is beneficial for them to still get on there and say they were asleep. Because the reality is the people that are watching that, they don't read the court documents. They're going to believe that.
Yeah.
They're going to suppress this exculpatory evidence that is and reasonable doubt that's through the roof. They will maintain this public narrative as long as they can, almost to a fault. They always do that. They will maintain the initial press release narrative until they simply cannot any longer. And then they will come out and they will say, this is the truth and this is why it was beneficial for us to lie to you.
Yes.
Yeah. That is time and time again, pattern recognition that if you're critically thinking and you've been paying attention to the world that we live in, you should be able to rather simply see by now. And they can do all this without breaking a single law, by the way. That's the other thing. That's not corruption, DA.
Right.
That is within the confines of the law that we have allowed our agents and the powers that be to operate within.
Right. Right. So nobody would get prosecuted for it. It's all allowed. Yeah.
It's like
we can whine and complain all day long about how it's not fair and America's been put through the emotional ringer and hating each other and being pissy with each other over something that never happened or will never get, and it's like, so what? They don't care. Like,
right. And it's like, it should be corruption, but you start to think, okay, well, in a system like that, in a system that we, the people, have essentially voted for and approved and right? If we're going to go in the whole, like, we vote for the people that actually get into power and that we have any control as the public, which personally, once you get into oppression, you'll never vote your way out of it, guys. Look at history. You don't vote your way out of oppression. But if you think about this, when you have a system like that, the official version can still be technically legal, even though it is miles from the truth. That is scary, and that is a dangerous game. And if that's not what happened in this case, so be it. I can also entertain that idea. But let me at least just make everybody aware of that.
Yeah, right.
There are patterns, historical cases that what I just said, you could apply to. There are wars that start that way. Families are destroyed.
Yes.
We are lied to. And we it's legal. It's for the greater good. Well, who's greater good?
Right.
Is your reelection really the greater good?
Right.
Right? Is national security this all-encompassing good thing?
Yeah.
Why is national security and the greater good being allowed to lawfully, legally, and technically being allowed to manipulate your citizens?
Yeah, because I mean, I hope this point doesn't get lost, but if the United States was split, if it was split 50-50, Democrat and Republican, half the nation would think it's in the nation's best interest that their party is in charge. They would literally believe it's in the nation's best interest that my guy or girl is in charge because they believe in their party. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, any kind of situation where you think that it's national security, it's in the nation's best interest for whatever, you have to trust that they're not just, like how reliable is it? You just believe it's in the nation's best interest. But do you get to make that choice? Do you get to make that choice for the rest of us, whether it's in the nation's best interest?
Well, and let me ask you this. Is a federal undercover agent ever supposed to be a true defendant for their operation? Would that ever happen? And if you don't know what this is, look up the ACA. It's the Authorized Criminal Activity Clause. Feds that are undercover who commit crimes as a part of their operation very rarely, if ever, go to trial.
Yeah.
So if their conduct gets exposed publicly, the government will not prosecute them. It will settle in a plea deal. They will classify. They will redirect. Because their cover identity will expose, if that collapses in a trial, which it would expose everything. The handlers, any chain of authorization, chain of custody, operations. That could be past or future operations. They're imploding. They're done. That's why that wouldn't ever happen. Every arrest that is in the past or the future will be challenged if that undercover agent's identity comes out in a trial.
Yep.
That's fact. Look up the ACA. That's a part of this greater good doctrine. Oh, why are the families suing for $100 million? Are they suing WSU because they know they can't sue the federal government?
Right. Yep.
It makes no sense at all. They will do like, what's that word? Not gymnastics, acrobatics, right? Like,
yeah.
They will flip and dodge and redirect and
sand crab and
And then guess what? The thing that they could fall back on, if they really went rogue and they really did break rules, they would burn their ass so fast, guys. Brian Koberger is the guiltiest person of all time. With so much evidence, he's so guilty. They're going to take the death penalty off the table randomly.
Right.
With touch, trace, DNA on a brand new looking leather knife sheath in a timeline that makes zero sense when he has no connection to the victims. They can't put him in the house. They can't see him in the car. They don't have his license plate. One of the cars has a bug shield and a sunroof. The other doesn't. What are we doing here? That's not even a conspiracy. Those are questions that any lawyer should have asked. It's like, at what point is Brian Koberger intentionally burned in this manner?
What the hell, man? My camera. People are picking on my camera, and I'm like, you're right. My camera sucks tonight, and it's not the camera. I'll tell you that much. My camera's a fucking expensive camera. It's my technical skills that are sucking. Like, I'm getting blurrier as I go, Birdie.
Focus, DA. Focus.
I'm trying, but I just lost all containment.
I'm in the middle of a great rant.
Sorry. Shit. Take me offline.
No, I'm just kidding. You're good, brother.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Like, but yeah, fuck it. We're going to do it live. But it's like, dude, is this almost like, is what we're seeing, if they intentionally burn an asset, is that in a way, bro, like, is that a pressure valve? Are they burning Koberger as this pressure valve release to the public? Is a real plea agreement sealed? Do we have a public-facing plea deal? It was dated wrong. Wasn't it June instead of July or something like that, if I remember correctly? Didn't he just randomly cross it out with no notarization? Right. Come on. Right. You got 4 consecutive life sentences in the highest profile murder case ever, and they're just going to let you scribble out the date as the guy who's getting it. What? It's the cleanest option. It's the cleanest option to do this. Again, that is a big if. What I'm trying to, again, get through to people is that this is possible legally.
Right.
Blue Eyed Candy, thank you so much for the super chat, says they want BK to be this serial killer guy. DA, how are we going to deal with the investigation of Lisk? Oh, that's a good question to kind of wrap this up on. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff in general about Lisk, like on my Alexa.
Yeah.
They've also, it seems like they've renamed the Gilgo Beach murder, the Long Island serial killer. Now on Netflix, it's Gone Girls.
Yeah.
So, talk about that if people don't know.
About the Gone Girls episode, about the Lisk case in general, or?
Well, I guess to answer, just because Blue Eyed Candy, like she had said, how are you going to deal with this investigation of the Long Island serial killer?
I mean, I'm not sure Blue Eyed Candy's exact question, but I will tell you this: the trial of Rex Heuermann in the Long Island serial killer case isn't going to touch the surface of the real interesting part of that story, which is the police chief covering up and dismantling the task force looking into a serial killer, allegations that the police chief himself was doing drugs with prostitutes, may have actually partied with at sex parties with Rex Heuermann, that Rex had multiple friends in law enforcement, including Peter Hackett, who may be related to Shannon Gilbert's disappearance. Like, if you know anything about the case, the really interesting part will never come out in trial. You think anyone's going to ask the questions about why law enforcement was involved with and partying with Rex Heuermann, if that's the case? No, it's going to be this guy did all these horrendous things. Let's put him away for life. That trial is going to be super straightforward. So what sucks about it is Blue Eyed Candy. Like, if you maybe you followed me a bit, but I've had interviews with John Ray, the attorney for Shannon Gilbert's family, whatever, and he's got all kinds of theories about the family knew about it. His wife knew about it. His daughter may have known about the murders that were going on. None of that will come out because they don't care, and they will never look into what part of law enforcement knew about it, who was covering up the crimes of Rex Heuermann for 30 years, all that kind of stuff will so that's my job. Like, my job is going to try to lay it out for you and say, by the way, there's a story they're never going to tell you, and I'm going to try to tell that story. So, and I'm going to do the best I can to tell that story. Yeah. And I've been keeping up with it, just so you know. Good. Awesome. No, I have been. I know that I'm not streaming about it, but I do believe that it's going to be huge. Another one that I think is going to be huge is going to be Scott Peterson. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I think there's something there. And I'm still convinced, again, same kind of thing with the Lisk case. I think the freaking Mickey Stein shooting the judge in the judge's chambers and that whole that story is going to blow up when we get
Yes.
into that stuff.
Well, and real quick, so let me just say this. To wrap this up, and by the way, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. These are incredible numbers. DA, I know you appreciate it. I appreciate it. You guys rock. The Hive is awesome. The chat is awesome. Liking the stream, getting more visibility to it is what allows us to have incredible guests like the Custody Queens, like Lawyer people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers start to get eyes on the Idaho 4. We're just a little old Hive. We're new. But we have something, we have a concept that is different, that is real, and that people have, I would argue, have had a craving for. Let's just talk like real people. Who cares about the HR, PR, corporate BS? And shout out to you all for leading into that. You guys rock. I'm going to do this for as long as I can, and I love it. I look forward to it every night. And what I'll finish with is this. I was just Googling historical cases where the government has protected an informant or some sort of undercover asset, even after they, quote, charge them. Okay? Here are 3. Whitey Bulger.
Mm-hmm.
You have a DEA agent, Andrew Chambers. He's known as the DEA's most famous undercover liar. Lied under oath in major drug deals. The DEA protected him. The courts, they sealed all the memos. Fast and Furious with the ATF, that operation. Start looking for patterns with Brian Koberger now. The government will overseal everything. Sweeping gag orders. Sealed affidavits. Unheard of sealing when it comes to investigative techniques or trade secrets. The agencies will contradict themselves. Innocent explanations that don't make any sense are aggressively enforced in a narrative. And the defendant, this is in my opinion, one of the biggest giveaways. The defendant always is at a certain point, symbolically isolated. Nobody comes to save them.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is.
Hey, I saw somebody say we're great together. We should do more cases together. I'm excited to hear that you have these interests in some of the same cases I do, because I don't know where our channels are going, but it would be cool for us to stay doing a regular thing together. Hopefully as this, because right now everybody knows you and I as the Idaho 4 guys, but when we're together, but there are other cases that are huge and we're both watching them. So let's hope that we can foster something in on a regular basis with that stuff.
I said this today to Kristen, one of the Custody Queens. I know I brought them up 5 times. They're awesome. If you guys don't subscribe to them, they got lightning in a bottle. They're going to be huge. They already have the biggest radio show for custody court, but the fact that they're getting into, they call it the Custody Queens off the clock, they're going to be awesome. So just to plug them quick.
By the way, Birdie, I will say that when you were taking a leak, people asked me to play Pretty Much. I'm going to play that. You're going to play us out, right? You're going to play us out.
I'm going to play us out. I just want to say this. I get asked a lot, am I going to cover other cases? I'm absolutely going to cover other cases. There is somebody that took a clip of me saying that I'm not a true crime fan, which I've said this. I've been very open. It's not like I listen to murder mystery podcasts and do that. I'm always into what I call narrative warfare. So clip this again, and you know who you are. The fuck is that? Yeah, narrative warfare. It's a lie. That's what the narrative is. It's a lie, and it's wrong. And that's what's happening in this case. And I'm fighting for the same truth that you are.
And a lot of ways, Birdie, you and I are the same. I play devil's advocates with bullshit stories. I was like, you know what? What if it didn't happen the way you said? So a lot of ways, you're narrative warfare and playing devil's advocates with things. That's why we dovetail together, because we're kind of doing
exactly. And so to put the exclamation point on that point is this. This is the case that I started with, and I'm going to see this motherfucker to the end, bro. I knew something was wrong with this case, and I'll be damned if I give up on it early or if I don't. So I want you all to know that. Is this the only thing I'm ever going to talk about? No, it's not. I'll talk about lots of other stuff, but
Oh, sorry, Birdie.
No, just to finish it, I was going to say just to finish that point. I truly believe that this is a case that even if there's no grand reveal, it can make a difference in people waking up to the bullshit that the news does on a regular basis. And that's why I think this case has stuck with me so much. And it absolutely brings together two pathways of what I'm saying is narrative warfare and people who you want to call are true crime people. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's a true crime case that got me interested in this. I've looked into, the Brian Laundrie, I'll look into crime cases that have narrative BS around it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's my whole point. And go ahead, DA.
Well, I was going to say, the other day somebody asked me a really, really poignant question. DA, what's your passion? What drives you? What do you want to accomplish out of your channel? And I thought about it for a minute, and this is my answer. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to overturn a wrongful conviction or put some motherfuckers in jail who deserve to be in jail. I want corrupt MFers in jail. And so I will be satisfied in that I made a difference in the world. When I put someone in jail, when I help put someone in jail for lying, for fudging, for corruption, for whatever, or I help overturn a wrongful conviction. As an example, the outcry with Greg Kelly, a guy just like me said, that story sounds like bullshit, and he helped overturn the wrongful conviction. My life will be complete if I can make a difference in this world and overturn a wrongful conviction or put some MFers in jail and help with that process. So that's my passion.
You know what? And we don't need to raise money. Actually, let me just say this. I saw this in a comment. I have the comment screenshotted. I do not have it prepared. I will give credit to this person. I don't remember their username off the top of my head. It was an email, not a comment. And they said, maybe the approach is not to raise funds for Brian Kohberger. That'll be attacked so easily. What if you raise funds for a whistleblower?
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Right?
I like it.
I would argue that there's an argument to be made that you got Steve G saying in that whatever that one interview room thing, he's calling Bill Thompson Santa Claus and a rat and that he doesn't represent the families. Okay, well, let's get a whistleblower then.
Yeah.
So I will take us out with the Pretty Much video that Cat Farm made. It is a Grammy nominee, the first ever Hive's Top Cat Award goes to Cat Farm. And with that, Hive, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. DA, thank you so much. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, I got Sammy T Mafia, surprise guest. Wednesday, I got Dago. Thursday, I got Sue, Revelation Tarot. Next Wednesday, I have Lawyer and Custody Queens. The Hive is on fire, and we're not slowing down. So, DA, here is Pretty Much written by Cat Farm.
Is it real or just a dream? Can I tell you what I've seen? Pretty much at 4 a.m. a man appeared in front of me. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened. Pretty much, I don't know what happened. Pretty much, everyone is super nice. My friends were home, but I'm not sure. I went straight past and left her there. When I saw her lying on the floor, I ran away, but I wasn't scared. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much wrong. I don't know if this is real or not. She danced with the dog and sang a song. What happened? I don't know. I forgot. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened. Pretty much. I don't know what happened. Pretty much. Everyone is super nice. I don't remember at all.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.